Everybody, my name is Mark Snyder with VerdeTerra, and what we're looking at here today is the algae system. So these are the algae photobioreactors. Essentially what they are is a clear tube where we grow algae within them. And the algae we're growing is something called spirulina. Spirulina is something you may have actually heard before. It's used in all sorts of chemicals and products that you probably use every day. Everything from baby formula to protein powders, you name it, spirulina is probably involved in it. It's a very, very carbon dense material as well. So we have the ability to pull carbon directly out of the air. This system operates as a closed system down here. And what you end up doing is on the side of the house or on the roof of the house, these tubes basically will take in the sunlight. The spirulina within here grows. As the growth reaches a dense enough concentration, the algae is then electrofloggulated, which basically is just a fancy way of saying we condense it into a paste. We come out, we remove the paste, let the algae bloom again, grow out, and we just continue that cycle. As we're doing that, we're basically, these two tubes on the side of the tiny home project, for example, are able to offset a suburban's worth of driving every year. So if you think about that, your average American vehicle, large SUV, about 35,000 miles per year of travel. This one small system on the side of the tiny home is able to offset all of that carbon from that vehicle. So if we're able to scale this system and put it on the side of all the different sorts of residential homes, we can offset our carbon and it actually become carbon negative, such as the case here in a tiny home project. And then what do we do with the spirulina when we're done? Well, you name it. We can either sell it to a petrochemical industry, we can use it ourselves and just dry it out as a protein powder, which is probably going to be the main source in the beginning. You can use it as a fertilizer. It's very, very rich in nutrients as well to kind of fertilize the soil. But ultimately, we're going to kind of kick things off by starting with the protein powder and then the carbon credits themselves. The system you see here today, an overview of that, what we have here again, so the photobioreactors moving into the pump and valve assembly to make sure we're able to control it properly. And this is the collection tank where we have the electroflagellation taking place, allowing the algae to condense. All of this system is our initial kind of version 1 proof of concept. What we're moving to is everything you see down here, aside from these glowing algae tubes, condensed into this. The idea with this is it would be a completely self-operating system. There'd be no need for the user to come out and service it. There'd be no need for anybody to come by. What would happen is these tubes would then interact with this device down here. Once we hit a certain concentration of algae, it squeezes that algae out all by itself, outputs the paste, dries it off, and it's ready to use, ready to eat. But that's a quick run through of the algae tube system here with VerdeTerra and a collaboration with VerdeTerra.